we are not only teaching and educating on the positive aspects of becoming a giver through our world-class, and I mean absolutely world-class training, we are teaching people how to pass it on. Maybe equally as important with our world-class business and our one-of-a-kind business model. Well, welcome to the True Man Podcast with Mike Van Pelt. This is an invitation to radical reconstruction of a man's masculine heart and soul in a place of safe community where we dare to ask questions deep-seated inside a man and explore ways to help you become a better man, a better son, a better dad, and a better spouse. Well, it is Thanksgiving week 2023, and I hope you're spending time with family and friends and that you are filled with the spirit of thankfulness and gratitude. Now, I also hope the people you're surrounding yourself with are givers and helping to fill your heart in this season. You know, one of the things I'd like to speak with you about today is being in a giver's mindset. Now, you may say to me, well, Mike, that's an odd thing to talk about on Thanksgiving. Aren't you supposed to be talking about gratitude? And my answer is, I am. You see, being a giver often leaves you in a state of gratitude and thankfulness for several reasons. Being in a giver's mindset will lead towards fulfillment. You've already heard me use this word. Now, when you give to others, whether it's, time, resources, or support, it often leads to a sense of fulfillment. Knowing that you've made a positive impact on someone's life can be deeply rewarding. I hope you've experienced that. I have experienced that, and it feels really good. Empathy. Giving often requires you to empathize with others and understand their needs and feelings. And this empathy can lead to a greater appreciation for the challenges and experiences of others, fostering a sense of gratitude for your own blessings. How about connection? How important is that over the holiday season? Giving can create strong bonds with others. It fosters a sense of community and togetherness, which can lead to feelings of gratitude for people in your life. And it gives you a sense of purpose. Many people find that giving provides a sense of purpose and meaning in their lives. Now, this sense of purpose can lead to a deeper sense of gratitude for the opportunities and abilities that allow you to make a difference in the lives of others. And it causes us to have positive chemical responses within our body. Now, when you engage in acts of kindness and giving, your brain often releases chemicals like oxytocin and serotonin, which are associated with feelings of happiness and gratitude. Realizing the impact that you can have, sometimes being a giver helps you to realize the impact that even small actions can have. And this realization can lead to gratitude for the ability to affect positive change in the world. And the Lord knows we need positive change in the world. And I'm going to talk about that towards the tail end of this podcast today. And of course, counting your blessings. When you give, you become more aware of the blessings and the resources you have that enable you to help others. And this awareness can foster a sense of thankfulness for what you have. So in summary, I talked about a number of things. Being a giver can often lead to a state of gratitude and thankfulness because it connects you to the positive impact of your actions. It fosters empathy, strengthens relationships, provides a sense of purpose, and helps you recognize the many blessings in your life. It is a powerful and positive cycle that benefits both the giver and the recipient. Now, the idea of being a giver is one of the big reasons why I even have a business called True Man Life Coaching and a podcast here today that you're with me on the True Man podcast. Now, some of you have heard me tell this story, and I'll tell this briefly because I think it's important, because I am grateful for what I have, and I'm thankful for the people that have come into my life and have helped me create this. But when I first went down that entrepreneurial trail, I did that in a way that's, familiar to a lot of people. I went out and I started networking and getting to know people and trying to build relationships. And I went to a networking event, and one of those networking events, I met a man named Paul Bailey. Now, Paul and I started the podcast together. He's an occasional co-host on the show and guest. And when Paul and I met, we had lunch. And we began to discuss what had gone on during the networking meeting that we were a part of. Now, we were a part of a group, and we both had opportunities to get up and give a talk and about what we were doing and explain, what our businesses were about. But when Paul and I sat down and started talking, what we talked about was how many takers had actually showed up at that meeting. I mean, people that just weren't paying attention. They were on their cell phones. They were talking while we were giving our talk. And they were just generally not paying attention throughout the meetings until, guess what? Boy, lead time, came time to hand out leads. And guess who's first in line? The takers. And Paul and I really set out to change that. We decided we wanted to start our own group. And as many of you know, that quickly turned into that networking group never got off the ground and quickly turned into a men's small group. And that's where the direction of my life begins to change, because I begin to understand and see what's missing in my life. Ultimately, it was that intimacy with God. It was that ability to get around other men and have them walk alongside me, and an opportunity for me to walk alongside them. And, I realized how I needed that in my life. And I feel like a lot of men need that in their life. And that's why True Man Life Coaching exists today. It's why we do the podcast, so we can spread the word and help men be better men. But it was on podcast number 38 where that was released with E.A. Salkovitz from Givers University, where a whole other step was made for me. EA reached out to me and asked if he could be on the podcast. And of course, when you come to me with the topic of being a giver after the story I just told you, well, now you've piqued my interest. And he reached out to me, and we did a podcast, and you can refer back to podcast 38 and you can hear our conversation. And that is where, my life of studying what it means to be a giver began to grow. And it's the relationships of people like Paul and EA that have grown out of learning about being a giver that really leave me being so grateful, particularly this time of year when we focus around, Thanksgiving and Christmas. Now, here's a quote I came across, and I'm curious to know if it resonates with you. Timing is everything. If it's meant to happen, it will at the right time for the right reasons. Now, as best I can tell, whoever gave that quote was anonymous. I don't know who the actual person was that said that quote, but I've adopted that quote. And I typically add to it when I use it that if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to change and to be in action, timing will work for you. And this is what I have determined to be a truth in my life, and an important truth at that, because if you're going to be a giver and you're going to be in action, the timing will work out. And that timing has consistently worked out for me over the last few years as people have come into my life. So we're talking about being a giver here. So let's start with a simple question. What does it mean to be a giver? A giver is someone who approaches life with an open heart and a willingness to share their time, their resources, and talents with others without, listen to this carefully, without expecting anything in return. The giver's mindset is all about nurturing this spirit of generosity, which, when cultivated, can bring about a ripple effect of positive change in our lives. And I'm sure you'd agree, we need positive change right now. So, to truly understand the giver's mindset, what we need to grasp is the immense power of generosity. When we give freely, whether it's our time, our money, our skills, or simply our kindness, we create positive energy that has the potential to transform lives. Generosity is not just about what we give, but also about what we receive in return. A profound sense of fulfillment and purpose. Now, one of the biggest obstacles to adopting the giver's mindset is that scarcity mindset. Yeah, some people have a scarcity mindset about being a giver. In a world that often preaches competition and scarcity, it can be challenging to believe that there's enough for everyone. However, you need to realize that the giver's mindset isn't about emptying our own cups, but rather that our cups can be infinitely refilled. Now let's shift our focus to how we can create a culture of giving in our personal lives, in our workplaces, and in our communities. The first step is leading by example. When we embody the giver's mindset, we inspire others to do the same. And sharing our stories of how generosity has positively impacted our lives can be a powerful tool for change. In my case, people poured into me at a time, a lot of men poured into me at a time when I needed it, and it helped me to grow. So let me give you 3 pillars of the giver's mindset. Time. Giving your time is one of the most valuable gifts that you can offer. Volunteering and acts of service can enrich our lives and the lives around us and strengthen the bonds within our community. Being a giver, number 2, can often involve sharing resources. Now, that could be money, that could be food, it could be some kind of possessions. Whatever it is, those resources that you have can play a valuable role in help impacting and changing people's lives. And your skills and knowledge, sharing your expertise and knowledge is a unique form of generosity. And I will tell you, whether you believe it or not, each and every one of you has your own skill and your own knowledge that you can share with the world. So embracing the giver's mindset, what I want you to know about that is it's not without challenges. Sometimes fear gets in the way of having a giver's mindset. But you can navigate around that. Research has shown that practicing generosity has a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being. Focus on that. Focus on the fact that helping people will help you overcome your fear or the obstacles that get in the way. Acts of kindness release endorphins. It reduces stress and it increases feelings of happiness and purpose. And by the way, you can make a huge ripple effect. Right now, our society needs the ripple effect of giving versus taking. When we adopt the giver's mindset, we set off a ripple effect of positive change that is so desperately needed right now. Acts of kindness often inspire others to follow suit, creating a wave of goodwill and improving the overall life in our communities. Lastly, The giver's mindset can lead you to become a catalyst for positive change on a global scale. You got to think big here. Whether it's addressing issues like poverty, inequality, or environmental concerns, or at Givers University, we're talking about solving hunger, 3-digit zip code in a world. The fact of the matter is that as a giver, you can create a profound difference in many of the complex challenges that I just mentioned. And this is one reason why I am so grateful, so grateful to be a part of an organization like Givers University. We are not only teaching and educating on the positive aspects of becoming a giver through our world-class, and I mean absolutely world-class training, we are teaching people how to pass it on. Maybe equally as important with our world-class business and our one-of-a-kind business model. I hear a lot of people tell me things like, I need to get around more positive people. I can show you how to do that with Givers University. I hate my job. I don't like my job. I want to do something different. I can help you find something different and show you how to do that at Givers University. I want to make an impact on the world. I can show you how to do that at Givers University. My point is, if you're tired of being tired in a world filled with negativity, join me and be a part of something larger than yourself. Learn how to be a giver versus a taker in a world that needs it now more than ever. I want you to reach out to me at mike@truemanlifecoaching.com. And I want to hear what you want in life. I want to hear about your goals, your big, hairy, audacious goals, and what you want to do with your life. And if you're just tired of being sick and tired, let me show you some training about how to be a giver that will absolutely change your life. And if I can help you attain at True Man Life Coaching or Givers University your big, hairy, audacious goal, let's make that happen. I'm happy to shine a light on it, to guide the way for you. But I need you to do something first. I need you to reach out to me. Ask for help. Just reach out to me. Seem like a big chance? Well, do you like where you're at right now? If you don't, what do you have to lose by having that conversation? So as I wrap up today, embracing the giver's mindset is not just a philosophy. It is a way of life. It's a commitment to enriching our lives and the lives of those around us. And when we shift our focus from what we can get to, what can we give, we begin to understand the true meaning of abundance. So I encourage each one of you to take a step forward, embrace the giver's mindset, and let the power of generosity shape a brighter, more compassionate future for you. Now, I want to wish each of you a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday, and I want to say how thankful I am for each and every listener that shows up every week. If you need to get a hold of me, again, reach out to truemanlifecoaching.com, and you can send me an email at mike@truemanlifecoaching.com. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. And if you enjoyed today's conversation about being in a giver's mindset, please leave me a great review on your favorite podcast channel. And as I end every week, go out and make this your very, very best Thanksgiving week ever. Take care.